Alright, so it has been a while, but I decided I wanted to at least try to do a review of a book. Basically, I signed up for a subscription called Book of the Month Club, and before they actually canceled it, they had a Book of the Month Club for young adult readers, so I decided to just sign up for that before they switched me over. But anyway, during the first few months when I was a part of that group, I ended up ordering a book called The Sound of Stars by Alicia Dow. I might be butchering that, but I'm always bad with names. So anyway, I was really drawn in by the premise of this book for two reasons. One, I love the question of what does it mean to be human, and what is art, and this story kind of reminded me of the one I was writing 3 years ago. No alien robot apocalypse, just a normal robot apocalypse. Anyway, back to the question. While the book hints at the importance and the impact of culture and art, all it really does is scratches the surface, along with plenty of other things. "Ellie," he says, his fingers tracing a book inside the mattress, "why do you do this?" "Books make me feel like myself. I want others to feel the same." "Why do you listen to music?" "Music makes me feel." His answer is soft, but rings with his truth. "I like feeling." The characters reference certain books and music, a lot are well known and others not so much, and then there are moments where the music is used too literally. Like when Morris and Ellie steal a truck and suddenly the song "The Times They Are A-Changin'" starts playing. They even say how perfect the song is at that moment. You can put the hammer down, Daryl, you don't need it for everything.
Hello, this is the part where I kill you. I've had a bit of a brainwave.
Ellie is hinted at being a bookworm, but we don't really know which book or books are her favorite and why. I think she even says she can't name a favorite. As a bookworm myself, I also can't name my number one favorite, but I can tell you which books I do like and why. I love The Giver, as it shows that a perfect society isn't always fair or kind. I love the Harry Potter series and Artemis Fowl, thanks to its world building and magic system and how the characters use it and are shaped by it. My tastes are even shaped by books I don't enjoy, like Catcher in the Rye, Ship It, and Twilight. Books can be used as an escape from reality like Ellie does, or provide a sense of hope, like The Hate U Give does to Morris. But books are also used to put you in a situation, in a series of events that make you wonder what you would do. You read as choices are made and see what the consequences of those choices are for free, as it's the fictional characters' ideals and hope that are challenged. And when the book reaches its end, you sit back and you reflect, or at least I do. Music is similar in that it also can tell a story through its lyrics. However, music can be as literal or as vague as it wants to be. We have rappers like Tupac and Dr. Dre rapping about their hardships as a black man from the hood chasing after success, to electronica musician Cosmo Sheldrake and synthpop Porter Robertson, who provide music that seems to take you on an existential journey. Heck, there's a song called Everywhere at the End of Time by The Caretaker that is 6 hours long that makes you experience what it's like to have dementia. And that's just recorded music. Live concerts, plays, and orchestras are another thing entirely. In fact, despite having a music-loving robot, Morris never mentions foreign songs or musicals or plays, or even songs meant for movies, TV shows, or commercials. How funny would it be if Morris was humming the Family Guy theme song, thinking it was someone upholding family values, when the show is most definitely not about that, or if he thought Shia LaBeouf was an actual cannibal. I love Morris and his fish out of water experience as he navigates his emotions while literally navigating the world to get to his goal. In fact, anything with Morris is a treat, and he definitely carries the whole story himself, which is unfortunate since he is just one of the main characters that we follow. The other half of our duo is Janelle, preferred to be called Ellie, and she is the most confusing, annoying, and boring character I had to read. Mostly because the author refuses to let Ellie be a character, and is instead all of these tropes and problems and cliches, Ellie is an asexual, overweight, introverted black teenager who loves books but also has anxiety attacks, has hypothyroidism, a fact we don't learn until the last 100 pages of the book and isn't mentioned again. Hell, even the asexual thing is rendered moot when Ellie falls for Morris in less than a week and wants to jump his bones, or whatever is the alien equivalent of his bones. As an asexual, it took me months to fall for my boyfriend and just as long to want to do the dirty deed with him. Ellie is basically a mouthpiece used to preach about racism and socialism and all the other civil unrest and injustices in the world, which is why I find her chapters so grating. And the other humans don't even act rationally or irrationally. The other human survivors they run into are literally just trying to survive, but the tone of the book suggests that they are moronic monsters that are happy to kill others, which isn't really fair. Basically, in this new robotic apocalypse, they're basically humans who've had their minds taken over and are controlled by their new alien overlords. It's basically invasion of the body snatchers, which, when you really think about it, is super scary. Of course, other humans are going to be weary of other humans because they don't know if they're friendly or not. And considering the worst route would be them to be wrong and they are an enemy, then they themselves will basically be puppets. That's not exactly something anyone would want. So yeah, carrying a gun and threatening others, while unfortunate, is just the new reality. Basically, Ellie and Morris are trying to convince the other human survivors to not act violently. Not only to other humans, but to Morris's kind in general, which is... what? I'm not joking, there's like... and then they all clapped scene in this book, where the leader who is paranoid and stressed that a bunch of robot aliens is going to find them and turn them all into brain-dead puppets is made the bad guy because a teenager who they never met and is holding a gun said that her alien is a good guy who wants them to turn themselves into brain-dead puppets because it's better than dying. That's not a joke. If aliens came and forced humanity to be on the brink of extinction, a child came up to me and told my family to give up and become a mindless puppet to be used and abused by said aliens for world domination, murder, and a meaty VR suit because it's better than dying, I'd smack that child in the back of the head and tell her to turn herself in if it's so safe.
Go home to your mother!
This scene becomes more egregious when you remember that this is supposed to be an allegory for fighting for equality and peace. Mainly, Morris is a second-class citizen on his home planet, and it resonates with Ellie's experience as a black person living in Brooklyn. So Morris's plan is to get the humans to surrender, take a vaccine that erases their free will, and become meat suits for the Iori, so that when Morris uploads a signal to negate the vaccine, it will free the humans and kill the Iori in the body. It's an interesting plan, and the fact that it requires humans to give up would have been a great conversation for the humans and the good Iori to have. Problem is that they don't talk about it. Ellie and some other lady give a quick 10-second speech and everyone unanimously agrees to turn themselves in again. Again, since Morris' situation is supposed to be similar to that of the civil rights movement, then his plan would be the equivalent of Martin Luther King telling the others to stop boycotting. It's just go home, stay segregated, get beaten up and put into shitty homes because he's going to blow up the White House. Maybe, someday. The thing is, the reason why the civil rights movement was so memorable and worked so well is that they worked together with other groups. Morris and the other lab-made Ioris don't communicate with the humans at all. They don't even try. You can argue it's because the humans shot first all you like, but what does that matter to world-conquering aliens anyway? The Iori captured hundreds of planets and not one of those inhabitants fought back or even complained.
I don't believe you.
And therein lies the second major bump in the road. Not only are the allegories poorly built, but this book has too many plot contrivances. Morris, despite planning an uprising for 3 years, never tried to communicate with any human resistance or any human at all until he met Ellie.
I don't believe you.
Morris doesn't even try to communicate with other Iori freedom fighters, even though he knows that they are out there. One of them being his own mother. If the Iori has the ability to knock out a human, why doesn't Morris command Eviola to do that when they were connected and cornered in Nevada, or even tried to connect to another renegade? And once again, why don't the lab-made Iori try to get humans in on their plans? The true Iori may be able to see the lab Iori's memories, because that's an ability they have, but it's been established that they can't read human minds. There's even another alien race that has the ability to see into the future, and they don't request their help?
I don't believe you.
This is Alicia Dow's first fiction book, and it shows. She basically throws everything she's seen in other YA novels, but she never really fleshes out her characters. She doesn't plan interactions, nor does she fit her themes into her story. A superpower boyfriend who can run really fast and kind of read minds? Twilight. Body-snatching aliens who just want to make the Earth a cleaner and peaceful place? That's The Host. Civil rights movement. With a black character? The Hate U Give. The Sound of Stars is a book with a lot of substance but no depth. The characters' dialogue all sound the same, with only the Iori being unique because they have a more sophisticated diction. But everyone thinks in these flowery run-on prose that flip-flop everywhere like they have ADHD. Even the incorporation of music and literature doesn't act as anything other than a conversation starter. And the one band the book does focus on is a fictional band whose members consist of alien soothsayers and songs I can't even listen to. And can I say that's really weird? Like, it's really weird that Alicia Dow, who went through so much trouble to make her own in-universe band for this book, didn't try to, I don't know, make music for the band in this book? You know, something that readers can maybe listen to. Like, she didn't even try to pay anyone to make music for her book, because I think that would have been really good and a great marketing strategy, honestly. But I don't get any of that. All I get are lyrics, which apparently double as a prophecy, which is the cliche of the cliche. I don't know, it's just, again, if you're trying to compare this to civil rights movements, the idea that this is a prophecy that's meant to come true kind of diminishes some of the hard work actual civil rights activists have tried. I don't know, it's just, I feel like Alicia Dow should have just stuck with either a sci-fi apocalypse or civil rights, or a book about civil rights. Trying to do both, like this, just muddied the waters. Now, to be fair, I did enjoy reading this book, but not for the reason Dow wants. Had the book focused on Morris and him understanding his emotions, the importance of art, and the Iori understanding and respecting humans, along with his budding friendship with Ellie, this book could have been great. I don't even mind the fact that there's going to be a part 2, though I probably won't read it. This book is just okay. A 4.5 out of 10. That took longer than I thought, but now that I got a better mic, I'm hoping I can maybe do a bit more recordings. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening and have a great day.